Welcome. Hello, trader. Welcome back to this live session from the second session of NY. And we had our previous NY session. Previously, we had a very incredible, successful session looking at the similar kind of session today as well. If we can enter in the right time and right area of value. So this is in this live session, we will be looking at analysis and also the overall trend in the market. So looking at the multiple time frame analysis to see that where the market is heading before we look at the key level for an entry in this market. Waiting for, I see that many members already on board. Let's begin the session. Ready? You can write Y or yes. And make sure you like this stream. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So let's begin. Welcome. Now, the market is on a pullback in an uptrend. So understanding the direction of the trend will always give you an added edge in the market. So if you look at gold, it's a bull market. All right. So beginning with daily chart, today's market after yesterday's, look at this is a massive bullish move back to the upside on gold. And after this massive bullish move back to the upside on gold, today's market has created another bullish impulse here to the upside in that market. So with this bullish impulse that you can see gold has created from the daily time frame, this is the daily market, as we are analyzing from the very important price action perspective on the daily time frame, that you can see this is the daily price action, where if you look at the daily close, you can see there isn't any wick at the top. It's a full body green candle close. And today's market, once the price open, again is still showing up to be bullish. So this is a complete breakout, and that move eventually could now bounce back up here to the key level of resistance line here. So that is where that the market has formed and created. If you look at this daily move, that's the daily imbalance in the market. And with this daily imbalance, which is the fair value gap, we do discuss a lot. This is great stuff, guys. Don't miss out any part of this live session. Also, we'll be discussing about how can you understand this kind of area where there is again the potential for bigger trend in the market. So if you look at that area where there is a fair value gap, okay, which is pretty stronger fair value gap in that area, and because the market has created that imbalance in this area here, okay, so if you look at this is an imbalance from the daily, it's a bearish fair value gap. And with this bearish fair value gap, right, so this is a pretty stronger bearish fair value gap that you can see. And with this bearish fair value gap, the market potentially to fill that imbalance and could remain bullish back to the upside here. And that's where you can see the market is in an uptrending structure. And this is the daily speculation. So therefore, what we are looking at here in the lower time frame, a potential breakup structure that we are looking at this market to bounce off that level and then to return again back above here. So that's now we are dropping down to the 15 minutes. The 4-hour price action, guys, you can see that there was one red candle, and we discussed in our previous session as well, this is potentially to be bullish, and the market has rejected in fact from that level, and which is now showing up to be potentially remaining bullish. Now the level that we have drawn currently at 4116 level, which is the daily support level, and the way the market structure has formed, there are two possible scenarios. One is the current level price to bounce off this level. If you look at, that's a very important support. And so this is the zone that you are looking at this market potentially to retest and then return again back above here in that market. So therefore, as the previous 4-hour candle is a bull candle, we are looking at this market to come back below here to retest or even break that low here and then return back again upside. And therefore, the lower drop here that you might see in this session, we might see the deeper pullback. And that pullback is what we want to use for an entry opportunity. Entry on a pullback is the best way to enter after lower time frame breakover structure. And does this work? Let's look at the lower time frame to see, going back to the 5-minute chart, right? Now, to understand if this way you can trade and if it works, let's look at the deeper price action pattern that you can see. And so that's where we had in our previous NY session, the trade that we set up. Now let's understand, because what we have done recently also will give an understanding what we can enter again, because the market repeats the structure, which is essential part of trading. So the previous trade that we have opened in that area, for those who were following me on the premium group, if you have missed the trade, then you can go back and look at the chart analysis as well as the trade setup that was sent out in the premium group. And let's look at that market structure. This is the 30 minutes price action, and the trade was basically sent out based on the 30 minutes price action. And here is the same imbalance that you can see the market has created, and that was 290p profit target hit on just a matter of few hours. So if you look at we entered the pending order is here. So let's look at what is the most important component, and because every trade that you are going to open, or anyone going to open, must have a clear component of the rules and has to have a clear understanding of the why the trade was open and what is the execution. So it's very important, because unless you have a clear reason or understanding of each trade, you'll see that the long-term profitability will not come from the trade. So looking at the trade was so sent out, for those who are in the premium, probably you guys have seen that it is sent out as a pending order. So the trade is opened at 4093.86 and stop loss at 4081.57. This is a screenshot from the premium group, and I would highly encourage you to look at that trade, because it's a big one and that's real mob. So the mob stop loss at 4122.95. So, and with full description of the trade for each detail, which is nearly to 290p profit target hit on the trade. So now if you look at this this is the 30 minutes price action, and when you'll be using or any strategy, the first thing that you need to look at, are you looking to see the market is going for a bigger profit target, or there is a possibility for a bigger move in the market considering the session and all other factors. So what drive that price here back to the upside with a stronger momentum? Let's look at that even here. If you look at this move, what is visible here, that's the key. From this support level, complete bounce back to the upside, straight drop back below to the downside, and that has completely tested this important support level, creating this very important liquidity trigger. Liquidity is the fuel of the market. It moves from the market basically moves from liquidity to liquidity. If you look at this move from here, is also due to the stronger liquidity, and the prices created that move, drop back to that same level, and if you look at in that move, there is no red candle. In this move, there is no also green candle, and as a result, we saw there is a double bottom and a straight bounce back to the upside here in that area. So that's where the market has moved to the upside here and creating a stronger breakout in that area. So we can see that the market didn't even stop there. It is still moved, and we taken with 290p because we don't want to go too far in terms of the profit target. We can take 10 times, we can take 500 pip. 290 pip is good enough for our strategy. We take on average 100 pip, 200 pip, sometimes 300 pip, occasionally 400, but we don't need 1000 pip in one trade, because in that case you need to accept a lot of losing trades. But the most important part is to maintain the risk low so that you can keep winning every single day, or keeping a consistency at the end of the trading week, which is the best way to trade, so that you are not going to big drawdown each week. So now, as the market is moving, if you guys look at here, it's on a consolidation and looking forward to enter again from another important support level. Currently, as we have drawn this zone here, this is the level that looking for an entry. And if the market in a sideways here, which could try to break that low, and we are watching the price action now for another entry. So you're watching with me the price action. If you're ready for an entry together in this market, make sure you ready with the risk manager tool. And if you haven't liked it yet, you can smash that like button. And which instrument you are looking at other than gold, also you can share your thought in the live chat. Let's begin another trading week now. We see the market started to become very alive due to high volatility. Came back, which is very good. If you look at here, you can see that this is where the past week there is some, still it's tentative, but there is volatility coming. Institutional traders start to put volume in the market, and we are ready for that big move again for another trading week. Okay, so sideways in that area on the lower time frame, waiting for a potential. This is the key level that we are looking at. First of all, identifying key level is very important. Welcome. Is evening or afternoon in your zone? Summer or winter? I'm here in summer, but it's raining. Now we see that the market, if we go back again from the 4-hour perspective here in that area, looking at multiple time frame is the best thing that you can do always, even anything you are trading, either gold, euro dollar, British pound, US dollar, or any instrument that you are trading. Looking at the multiple time frame will give you a bigger edge in the market, because that's where you can see that how the market is doing on the higher time frame or in the lower time frame in relation to the higher time frame supply and demand. And this is also interesting because you'll see that very different picture when you look at the multiple time frame. So this is the 4-hour move that you can see, and also if you look at the 1 minute, you see this is a completely different price action that you can spot on 1 minute. It's impossible to recognize that on the 4-hour like that, and in the 1 minute like this. Now, if anyone trading on 1 minute only, if anyone trading in this time frame only, could be interested to go long, as if you look at the lower shadow, series of higher low, some might agree to go long because series of higher low, and the market may break to the upside. Some might even agree to sell because the market is respecting this resistance line, which is an important level of resistance, getting rejection multiple times with a long wick. If you look at here, you can see whenever the price approaching, getting rejection, so there is a possibility for a drop. But if you look at the intraday time frame in this 4 hour, that is where waiting is the best option here, because first of all, there is a bigger impulse here from this support level on gold, and with this impulse that you can see, the market created a bullish impulse. So this session is less likely straight to bounce back. It could be. Music is loud. Thank you for confirmation. I think that's now pretty reasonable. Thank you. Okay, so the market still can continue to rise back here and create even a new higher high. But here, the level to look at is here, because it is already overextended back to the upside in that market. And because it's overextended back to the upside here, the best area of value is from this fair value gap, potentially after possible drop back below. And it still can continue to rise here back above. Okay, so because it is in a trend, if it goes up back, also a possibility drop later to retest that. So our key level is here, and we want to enter from the most important, the highest area of value possible in that movement. So this is where to see that if the market breaking that high and then returning back down. Let's look at the what's happening with the around the news here. Labor market. So red news has given some movement. Okay, so the shutdown is about to end this week. Good evening. So that is going to give some kind of that's why you said previous daily move on gold based on that news you can see. So, and by the way, this is for if you are completely new, it's for Forex Factory, for especially for news timing, because this news that you can see has a specific timing, and due to the shutdown is showing as tentative, but more often if you look down here, there's time. Do you have also any question about the news in anyone? How do you use in fact this news? If you are trading a complete beginner, or if you are trading for some time. So this is a very important question, and it's a very integral part of trading. If you're not looking at those news, then probably it's very difficult. It's almost impossible for you to be a day trader or a swing trader or a scalper, especially if you're trading on lower time frame. You must pay attention to those news. So do you do that? And let me ask you as a question. How do you use news for your trading? So which is essential part of becoming a successful trader. Now, going back here, you can see it's getting some rejection from the higher price technically, while in this area the market is creating the pattern. This is the key level, and interesting structure has been created in that area. Would like to see the price to possibly come back well below, and this is what we are looking at, a breakup structure. Good evening, welcome. Market okay, so that is where market volume is too low. It's a regular cycle. Okay, the volume is going to come again as we have seen early trend. If you look at early Asian market was very, very bullish, and later the prices come to a potentially lower area of value. And now this is where, if you look at from here, a drop down back below. So as this is a trend that you can see, the market is respecting this trend line with a key level of resistance. We have drawn the trend line for a possible break of that trend line here in that area. Now with this support test, if you look at 5 minutes price action that I'm looking at, back-to-back two dojis here, and with those two dojis, the market has created that move back to the upside in that area with a sharp rejection back to the upside, and two dojis which were very important price action here in that market. And with these two dojis, complete breakout with a multiple liquidity sweep here in that area, got the rejection back above here in that zone. And as the price tested this support here, you look at support here, bounce, support here, bounce, support here, bounce, support here, bounce. So wanna see that break from the trend line. And once you see that, it's all the entry that we have taken. This one, the 290p profit target hit, also from the breakup structure. Once it has completed that breakup structure, we place this pending order above the neckline, so that if the market reject back again in that direction of the trend, we will be on the trade. And it has done that. Using a pending order is also very effective way to trade when you want to see the market again started its trend, because if there is a break of structure, this can go, even if it is not a change of trend. Also, by the way, if you are not sure what is a break of structure, you can share your question in the live chat. And these are, once you understand, you're not gonna forget it anymore. So it's a knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? So if you get the knowledge, you're not gonna lose it anymore. So make sure you keep that on your notebook always, what it is looks like a breakup structure. Now if you're any kind of trader, okay, so it's the same. Okay, these are the language of the market: breakup structure, pattern, trend, liquidity, price action, market structure. If you want to go to the advanced, go to the LU2 wave, advanced flag pattern. Okay, many other new patterns that you can see in the market, as long as you can identify them, because the market is always creating new form of structure. It's very random, right? Because if you combine, if you take random object, okay, that's a random piece of concrete or a stone, piece of a stone, and you take 1,000 of them, or maybe 5,000 of them, piece of stone, either in a cubic or in a triangular or just random. and you mix them. Every time you shake, there will be new combination that you almost impossible to get an exact match for each time you move it, right? Let's say you picked like this concrete pattern, right? Stone pieces, broken pieces like that, 1,000, 5,000 or 10,000 pieces of them, and then you shake them all together. Every time there will be a new combination. It's almost impossible for you to match one or two exactly to be the same. So if you look at the market, there will be some kind of understanding, but there will be always a variation. But in that variation, there is there is a recognition of understanding. There is an understanding of the market structure, right? It's like a cell in any kind of body, right? So you'll see that there will be a rearrangement of the cell, but when you look at the bigger scale, you're gonna find a form in it. So a form and then formless, which is subatomic, right? That's where everything becomes very fluid. So if you look at the individual candlestick pattern, and if you look at the pattern, they are very different. So the patterns are repetitive, but there will be always some variation in it. So that's why your probability also will remain always some variation all the time in it. I don't use news because I don't understand fundamental too well. Anyone on that nope, I don't use news because I don't understand fundamental too well. Anyone has the same? Anyone in the same boat? Because to become a better trader, you need fundamental, but you don't have to understand fundamental. Okay, we will be discussing in this live session that how you can grasp the concept of fundamental and you use it in its full spectrum. That means to become a very successful trader, but you don't have to understand fundamental, but you need the fundamental. So two very important point, right? Now, how can you get that? Let's look at that one here. Welcome. So day trader or swing trader, what we do, we use the market structure and price action to find out the trade. Now, fundamental is in a gross form, so you don't have to go, like analyze past 70 years of data to create, like a time related curve of the economic growth, right? When there was depression, why it happened, and then how the market recovered again from the depression, and what year there was high inflation and how the dollar behaved during that inflation. So you don't need that level of analysis to become a day trader. What you need is what this decision is about and how that impact the dollar index and gold. Okay, so even if you have never studied anything, what I'm going to tell you now, guys, it's gonna be, you can use it straight away. Straight away you can use it in your trading, so you can take notes. anytime if you see that there is an inflation, okay, so inflation will devaluate dollar index. Very important. Sell first and buy zone. So if you hear that there is an inflation, it's dollar is bearish, DXY are gonna be weaker. So now understand what is inflation. Inflation means that you have to pay more money for the same thing. So yesterday you bought lunch, okay, $20, and today due to the inflation you wanna bought the same lunch but with $30. That is inflation. That means you have the same dollar but its value dropped, it's devaluated. That is inflation. The price didn't increase. We think that price increased. There are two things. See, so you need to look at that puzzle very importantly. We think that price increased. Price didn't increase. The dollar devaluated. Price remains same. So it's very paradoxical, isn't it? Now, if you look at, you have $500 in your savings, it's basically it became $400, even you didn't know that. It's devaluated. Now, once it's devaluated, you need to pay $30 instead of $20 to buy the same amount of lunch. That is inflation. So because you need to pay more, the dollar devaluated, so it has to adjust itself on the market by dropping that price. That is inflation. Self-correction. So when there is an inflation, there will be now where the investment is going, it's going to the safe haven. So that will be gold, because gold cannot be painted or create what it is. So therefore it's going to go to more on gold, and gold started to appreciate. On the other hand, we are looking at here gold, okay, against USD. So when USD is getting weaker, automatically gold will start to appreciate here. You see that that mark here, watermark, gold is spot against dollar. So this is about inflation. That's all fundamental. Now interest rate, any interest rate cut also will increase gold, devaluate dollar, because we are talking about only dollar, not other currencies. So if you look at, let's say, interest rate in other currency may not be the same effect on dollar. It could be in their economy. There is a very important factor, guys. If you look at some economy based on export, some economy based on import, we will not go to that in depth on how it will impact the currency itself. Some reserve bank keep the currency stable, some increase depending on their policy based on their export and import, how much debt they have, how much borrowing capacity they have, depending on all of this economic factor. So you don't need to analyze that for becoming a day trader or a scalper, but we need to look at how this event is bringing more volume in the market so that we can see the trend and you can trade it. But if you look at the interest rate cut, that means when there's a cut of interest rate, there will be more borrowing capacity, and when there's more borrowing capacity, also it's gonna increase the inflation. Borrowing capacity, you need to print to balance that deficit. Okay, and that's gonna increase the inflation, that will reduce or devaluate the index, and ultimately will have that impact in all, or effect in all other currency pairs, because they're all related. So therefore, if you are now, this should be easy, isn't it? I hope you guys got that right. And this news, because I don't understand the fundamental too well. Okay, so I think it's very simple, right? Let's understand more and trade more. So any kind of event, now let's look at outside of economic event. There might be other events, right? There might be war or natural crisis or anything. Okay, all of them contributes to the gold price increases. Okay, there is a panic buy and sell. So anything more often. So whenever there is an uncertainty about anything, the investment goes to the more safe investment. That is goes to the gold, and gold start to bounce or rise up. Now we'll be looking at for more this session as well, to understand how we can use those data as well later in this live session. So make sure that you stick till then. And by the way, guys, if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification, and also check out all the analysis that I'm posting every day. Join also the Telegram. You can find link below this video for regular update as well as analysis. Also you can check out also the website link. We have few spots to take on mentorship program for accessing all the strategy and also trading tools that we are using every single day. All right, now we see that break below here in that area. It's coming down back below, and I'm going to reshuffle that chart again for new market structure to see where it is heading to. And okay, looking at here on the daily chart, this is the daily market from this high here coming to that support level, and Okay, so you see that break below. Currently on the 4-hour chart, the market is trying to feel that low, and that might be coming back here all the way to that level. That's what looking for this entry down back below to this support level. And with a series of lower high, expecting the market to now break that low in that support level. Good. Where are you, gold, looking? Where are you looking, gold? So as we in the beginning of the session, we are looking at this key level at the moment for possible bullish trading opportunity. So key level. Now, this key level can be respected, can be broken and bounce back up. We are looking at for the market to potentially respect that key level and possibly to bounce off that level. If you look at the 4-hour chart here, that you can see this is where the market structure is still bullish. So looking at the 1-hour market structure, if you look at also and I'm looking at multiple time frames over and over again, is because that is where we can see how the price action is going to influence the market later. Because if the market shows that, okay, so this is where the key support level, and this is where the support level, and from this zone there are two possible scenarios. Now we can see the market has already broken out of this trend line, and it is still possible that the price coming back to that daily low, this is the daily support, and then to continue to rise if the volume is bigger, as this is a currently long-term bull market. We still can expect this market to trend again back above here to create a new higher high. So that is where looking at potential rejection in this market to continue to rise to the direction of the trend. So the current trend line that you can see, the price has broken that low, and looking at the market to If you look at here, you can see this is a consolidation pattern and an inverted head and shoulder pattern. And in that consolidation and inverted head and shoulder, that looking at this market to possibly break out and then to trend in that direction. Welcome. What do you think of 4110 to 4120? Let's see 41. So daily support that you can see is here. That's where you can compare to see where it might be going. So 4110. Okay, if the market breaks that support, this zone that you have drawn, the red area, is the daily support. Okay, and as it is in a sideways market here, you can see the 4-hour chart. It is very possible, okay, that the market to come well below to 4115. Okay, now depending on how much volume coming, but the best buy will be here, either from this 4115 or 4110 or above this 4148. So let's draw that level as well. Now the market going above 4148 is a very smart buy area if the market managed to break above here, because breaking above is where possibility for new higher high. Breaking down below at 4115 also possibility for a bullish trend continuation. In between here, we'll see that how the market structure is creating. If we see that strong uptrend continuation, we are looking at that, and currently it has broken down of this triangular pattern that you can see in this market. So this is a triangular pattern that you can see, and that triangular pattern you can see it has broken back below and waiting on this here to break above, continue to rise above, and then to trend. That is one potential trajectory. The other is to drop back below, because the major trend is bullish. So we are not looking at any situation in that area for selling at the moment. That's gonna be complete against the trend. So you wanna stay with that trend with patience and proper planning. You guys ready for this move here? Thank you. So it has tested this support and getting some rejection back above here. It's preparing for a lower time frame bullish move here, and that area that you can see is creating a lower time frame bullish price action that might bring that market potentially back above here to create a new higher high. And so with this inverted head and shoulder that we see has formed a complete bounce, and the market now is maintaining this uptrending market structure here. That's where looking at the price action to go ahead and create a new higher high. Now key level is here. We are looking to see if the market structure again retesting this 4-hour level and then returning back above as a bullish trend. Hello, just joined, welcome. Please, what are you waiting for again? So we are looking at the bullish trade setup from a key level. We see there is a break of trend line, but this is where we don't want to enter from the low probability setup. The reason 4-hour, you can see a big long wick, another long wick, another long wick. So 3 sessions, series of lower high. And this session so far the market dropped here, right? So this 4-hour candle, if you want to buy, this market will struggle to break this high and also break this high to create a new higher high. Instead, if this market drop back below here in that fair value gap, okay, in that area, that is where you are looking at entry. Okay, so you can see that from that zone here, it started to break below. Now the major trend that you can see in this market is bullish, so we are looking at buy trade, and there is a low probability in that area to break that high. Therefore, to break this high, you need the market to break this low here to gain bigger momentum. Then we can look for bigger trade setup. So bigger trade setup is the key. If you look at this trade that was sent out in the premium group just in NY session after you completed that live session here yesterday, we had a big trade in NY session. You guys see that we were patient for hour, and just a matter of 5 minutes we have secured the full profit target, right? We have secured the full profit target by being patient. When you're patient, you have winning trades, you have more winning trades, and that's all you need, right? You need more and more winning trade every single day to become consistently profitable trader, because one bad trade can take everything that you have gained. So that's why consistency is heart of trading, and to maintain that consistency you can't deviate from your strategy, and at any situation you also has to remain fully emotionally resilient to become a better trader. And you can see that the results came out. I have shared the same trade in the premium group. Okay, and now we are looking at further in that area to see another possible entry opportunity. And this is the trade, by the way, for those who are in the premium. We can go ahead and check that trade was sent out, and let's see the 30 minutes price section. You open from this level on gold trade using the pending order. Stop loss was below this low, just below this candle's low, and that has given us 290 pip on one single move. Now looking for entry from those areas again, as the market is having slowly volume in it. All live. Okay, so we trade on live, and you guys will see that. Okay, and that's gonna be posted, will be coming every single trade. It's gonna be here, and that's what it is. Trading is probability, and we trade with consistency based on a strategy, and in this live session in the live market. Trading is freedom. Okay, that's why we trade. Ready. Are you ready to take that freedom on? Okay, so we had Okay. Of course, why not? So I have posted a question. What's your trading for reason? Are you trading for excitement or to gain freedom? Trading is freedom, right? So wherever you go, it's going with you every single day. Let me ask you with a poll. Let's say that what's your reason for trading? I wish I would know how to analyze the market. I think that's the educational part, that it is a very, very important point, okay? Because to be a trader, you need to be educated trader, okay? Don't be a trader who is just trading based on random buy and sell. Be an informed and educated trader. To be an educated trader, technical analysis must. Okay, so technical analysis must as a trader. This is the first thing that you need to understand, guys, because this is where you have the full control on your trading. Unless you know the technical analysis, you won't be able to find the proper trade setup. Otherwise, you just have to flip the coin. You take the coin, you flip it, it's gonna drop again, and then you're gonna flip it, either go this way or that way. You see that the strategy that we are trading again, I have shared all those trades that was taken over time in the academy. If you look at that, I have shared many of the trades that we are opening every single day. And based on the strategy, and they are fully risk managed, every trade that I am sharing in the premium group, as well as the full P&L from the trading that we are doing. Now, every trade that you open, there is a clear criteria to follow along, so that you have an understanding of why we are opening those trades. Okay, now if you don't know the technical analysis, then there are two other things will take over each trade that you will be opening: emotion, and that's all. Okay, once your emotion takes over, then you will be opening trade based on when you feel like opening, when you see that there is a possibility but there is no possibility there. Probably it's mostly driven by some emotion that even most trader don't understand, but until they realize that actually they need to focus on learning. Okay, so financial freedom, very good. That's what it is, guys. Here, becoming a trader means that you go to a place where you started to see everything very differently, right? Because it's a over $1 trillion market that we are one largest market in the world, and there is the ocean of liquidity, right? That you can, our trade is a drop in the ocean, or ocean in the drop. Anyway, your trade, our trade is a drop in the ocean. So you see that you're very excited about the $5,000 a day. Becoming a trader, you can, the successful trader make way more than that. It's nothing when you become a trader, because a successful trader, it's a skill set. You don't need anything else. You need to have the skill set to get to that point, and everyone can do that, right? Everyone can get to the point where you become a successful trader. There's a lot of opportunity available when you gain that skill to become a successful trader. So the skill set is very important. That's where the education comes. That's where the technical aspect of becoming a trader in coming play, right? So, and now the next part is giving yourself time to gain that. Allow yourself to go to that place. Creating that belief is very important. Okay, so now as we are in that, we are looking at that market structure. What can I do to be part of your team? I really want to have a skill. To be part of the team, you guys can see the link below. But before you become a part of the team, it's important that you find a clear direction for your trading. Okay, I saw that, if you do a lot of research on trading, you'll see that it's very short-lived career becoming a trader. Why? Because there is a learning curve. Okay, and when it comes down to the learning curve, it really gets harder, especially in the beginning. For those who are professional trader, if you how long experience everyone has here, you can share your experience so you know that how long you are trading. So if you have a longer experience, you know that get to that point in the beginning, there is really bumpy the road, and once you get to that point, then you look back and you see that actually how immature in the beginning it is to become a trader. What can I do to, okay, are you scalper or a day trader? So there is a thin overlapping between scalping and day trading, right? We are both. We had a bigger profit target, smaller risk. Okay, so ideally we day trade. Some of the trade sometimes we take overnight, but most of the trade we close by the day. You guys see that those trades that I have shared. This, by the way, those trades that I'm sharing, it's also in our verified group by the verified member. Their P&L you guys can see in the group. If you are not on the chat group, I would highly encourage you to right now. If you're in the premium group, then I'm sharing the chat group link now in the premium group, so you can also stay connected unless you are not on the chat. And then that I would highly encourage, share the chat link in the premium group, so stay there. And that's where you see that our members actual P&L directly copied my trade in their trading account, and these are live being shared in the group. Okay, there's nothing more than that. There's nothing more than that, guys. And see that right now, you can see that what is the members are saying in the group. Right, there's nothing more than that, and not on hundreds of members trading with me in the live. All right, and this is what we wanted to achieve, guys. When we begin the forex trading, it was a big hit. You remember, long we are consistent years of time. Now in a zone where you changing thousands of traders' life. Are you ready to change your life? Okay, and because everything here is originally created from observation, long hard work, and actual tested over time in the market, right? So how we trade, guys, I have shared my every detail of the trade that I'm opening in the group and with the members. So what you need is to see that it works and then replicate it over and over again. I'm not in any of your chats inside to join, so thank you. So if you want to join, if you are not on any of our chat group or in the premium group, then we had almost, it's nothing, it's really nothing in comparison with what you're gonna get here in the academy. So you can visit the website now. And I used to like to give you guys completely for free. I have had a giveaway last week also. This week also will come a couple of, but it's almost nothing. There is a 95% of. More often I give away completely free entry to the academy, but the only things stops me, two things. One is we cannot take unlimited member, because when you're giving for free, everyone want to join. Secondly, we want the serious trader, and that's why it is 95%. So you pay 5%, which is nothing in comparison that what you learn and grow lifetime access, but I could give you for free. The only reason I can is two reasons. We can't take unlimited member. We don't want to give our resources to the one who is just want to try it, not taking serious. But if you are a serious trader, if you really serious, even you can take back at some point more than that, because here, for those who are with me for years trading, they know that what we have in the academy now, what resources we have, how we are trading, and it's gonna keep going up and up in an uptrend. Please stay with and not in any of them. Thank you very much. One time, it's one of, there is no subscriptions, completely one of lifetime access, and be part of that, become consistently profitable trader to change your trading as well as trading of others. So that being said, let's look at here now on the chart, coming back to that area to see that how the market is here creating the structure. We can see the lower time frame price action as we have placed that key level in that area where there is a key support level, and in that key support level, the price on that level breaking below, as we discussed in the beginning of the session. This is the 4-hour level, and that's what I told you that this is where I'm not opening at the moment any entries, because we want to see that the market has managed to break that low before we look at any entry in that market. Welcome. Yeah, so the market is on the 4-hour. This is a key level, not 4-hour resistance, 4-hour support level, and this is what we are looking at the market to break that low for a bullish trade setup. It's a bull market at the moment. We are not looking at selling even the market breaks below here in that area, as it still can reverse back again upside. This is a bearish fair value gap in this area, and if the market breaks below here, it's a void, and that might bring that here. If the price break above, which will give us potentially new higher high. It has created a head and shoulder here though, and that might bring back down, but we are not taking the trade is against the trend. That's what we're looking at. So it's coming down to that void area, and from there either we'll see that complete breakdown here in the 4-hour support to this level here, or we could see that return again back above from that level. Depending on how the market structure is evolving, we'll be looking at entry in that area. Always keep the bigger profit target and the smaller risk. That's the secret of becoming a profitable trader. Okay, this is where the market is breaking back below here in that area, and it's now below this support and could bring that market now back below in that area. Where is the key level? That's where the key level is. We are looking at that key level for the price to drop down. And once the market managed to drop below that key level, this is where we are looking at possible rejection to the upside for the long term. And in the meantime, here there might be a short-term downside, but at any point we are not trading against the trend. Okay, that is where a secret of becoming a successful trader is to trade with the trend. Okay, trend is your friend as long as you are trading. By the way, guys, if you haven't liked this stream, I'd appreciate if you do so. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so to remain up to date that every analysis as well as update that I'm posting every day about the live market as well as other ideas that you can see in the market. And we see that imbalance is being filled here. The market never liked to leave an imbalance, and no, we are not on a trade yet. There's no trade, there's no running trade on the live. We're waiting for the market to show up the setup. Okay. Penetrating back below 4125. This is what we are looking at. The market to drop down back below in that area. And no problem at all. And also share your trading experience, how long you are trading, and also if you don't mind where you are at. You want to know more about your trading experience and your winning and losing. Okay. Here's the break below and maintaining that downtrend here. We are looking at the market structure to drop down back below to this support. So this is 1 hour as well. You can see the price has dropped well below, back below to this support level. And one of the very important question may come that I more often. How do you learn actual trading, right? This is a very rare question. Do you go to any university? Do you see any university that teaches trading? How do you learn trading? Have you ever asked this question? Is there any school, university, or trading institute? We have trading academy, but is there anything that teach you trading? But if you know trading and you have the right mindset, and you become a better trader, that you have a strategy that really works, you escape, right, from everything, and you become free. So that's not gonna happen, right? There is no institute, nowhere you can learn trading except here. And not only here, you can learn other resources as well, available online for free or paid membership, not in like any public university, right? Can you explain that why? The only way to learn is executing and chart time, plus being okay to lose some money at first. Yes, so it's very good point. Okay, the only way to learn is executing and chart timing. Well done. So this is self learning, or if you can learn through observation, that most of the education that you guys can see here, it's based on experience, observation, countless hours of chart analysis, looking at the live market and executing the trade in the live market. And that requires, in fact, an extended amount of time that you need to invest to get that experience. But becoming, that's why I always tell that if you are in the academy, becoming a premium member, getting access to all the courses and education, then you actually reduce the time curve to 100 times, right? Nearly to 100 times. So you can absorb 100 days or worth of learning in one day by squeezing it to the very smaller point. And that is, if you have ever read a book, so an author maybe had an idea for years and took another year to write that book, but you can absorb it in a week. So reading a book means that you are going into the mind of the author, connecting with the emotion of the author. That's where becoming reading a book.
Author.
Okay. So that's very important to look at, right? And becoming a trader is almost the same. Okay, so you're willing to buy here. I'm still looking at the 4-hour level that you can see. This market from the intraday, it's coming back, potentially back below to the key level. So this is not a very good area for buying, because in the midway of the previous sessions, you can see that either let it break below here or going back above here. And patience is the next step. Because you have a 50-50 chance to go up or to go down. Little higher chance is going down. It could be that 55% to 45%. Okay. So with that probability, I wouldn't enter a trade. Understanding probability is trading. We discussed yesterday, and every single day almost we are discussing. How do you have the probability in your favor? Always keep in mind that if you flip a coin more than 100 or even 5,000 times, you can do it virtually. You will end up getting 50, like maybe 48% or 49% by, let's say, 51% head and tail. So that's a probability. That's a flipping of a coin, which is based on the casino, right? Now, add confluence to it. Use risk reward, use area of value, and then the trend will must, without will, you must get a win rate or a probability that will always keep you in the winning state. That is trading, and it's not hard. We think that okay, there is a lot because of the emotion. The next thing you need to make sure that you are mastering your emotion. Bringing that probability to above 65%. If you are even using one-on-one, you are profitable. But if you are using a higher risk reward, that will drop your win rate. That the strategy that I use is 5-1 for those who are in our chat group. You guys see that every trade that was open using the system is being shared in the group, and it's a 5-1. This is not by me, by the members. You can see your PNL, that for those who few individuals directly copying my trades, you can see your TP and see that it's 5 times. That means each trade 1% risk, 5% reward, and then use the trend and see how it grows your account over the long term. No one can resist it, right? Do not resist, just learn and grow. Did you like this stream? Or do we need to take trade setup? The market need to show up. So if you look at the 5-minute chart that you are looking at, whenever it's breaking above, it's slowly breaking, trying to break that low here. And expecting it to drop back below. So this is here locally. If this 5 minutes closing as a long wick doji, it's a potentially bearish price action. Now you might see that the market to potentially to continue to drop here back below. as the hour is progressing, we are after this 1 hour candle close, the price action again in a upside movement here in that area. This is a triangular pattern, and if you look at the triangle, okay, which is a very narrow triangle that you can see in that area has formed, and that triangle is, we saw that break below, now it's bouncing off that level. Now until we see a break of this triangle to the upside, it is not a good area for buying at all, and especially when you see this kind of pattern. So it's a flag pattern, so a move like this, you see, it's a very common flag pattern. That pattern, it's a bullish pattern. The market do like that. We normally, for idealization, we create like that, right? But actually it's not like that. It's like this: one pole, triangle, break below potentially, again another, or it can be any shape, but one triangle, and then it might be like that, breaking below and then trending, okay, and probably gonna see that again going up, creating this pattern, breaking below and then going like that's what the market does all the way until it finishes its cycle and started to change the trend, especially when the market breaks down from a trend, which is some of you call the waterfall. That time you'll see that it doesn't follow the same pattern as it has gone back to the upside. Can you tell me why? So these are the mechanics of the market. That's how you know that in what situation you should be taking a bigger risk to take a big advantage. You see that those trades that you take bigger wins, sometimes that comes in a row, 3, 4, or at least 2, 3 big win will give you a big profit target hit. The reason is you see that it's obeying a nice looking trend, and then at some point it more often you see that it fall like that, okay, to the order block again. Now when it is coming like that straight, why like this? When it is going up it's like that, but when it is coming down it's like this. Do you know that why? Become always curious, that's why intellectual curiosity makes better trader. Every things that you need to question. Okay. The stream has always been educating and mind opening. Thank you, sir. Hoping to be part of this episode. You're welcome. And yeah, you guys are here. That's why the stream is nice. So make sure you also stay always active, and absolutely great to hear that feedback, which is important. And we always, I learn a lot from here, and you can say that 80% of my learning that came from live streaming, okay, from when I am here, there's exchange of knowledge, right? So I gather knowledge from members and students who are watching that, because some exceptional traders came into the academy as enriched, and also I learned a lot from them. They might have left, or because they're profitable, gone to some already there, but the knowledge is there, right? So let's share that way, because this is what increases when you share. Welcome. Okay, now this drop down that you can see, what could be the reason here for that way to move in that market? Let's understand that. Now before we look at here, it's on now in a consolidation, which is a narrow, smaller consolidation that you can see on gold, and that is what looking at as the market has broken back below here with another bounce. This rejection that you can see, a green candle, that might slowly try to bounce back up. This could be a bull candle if it just created this, if it formed here on the key line. Hope we drop before another impulse upside. I hope we drop before another impulse upside. I think so, because the impulse here that has created in that area. Okay, if you look at a drop and then bounce, so in that area the market, let's go back to the 4 hour again. Now this is what I was looking at. This price action on the 4 hour is still not fully ready to create a new higher high, and in fact this current 4 hour candle is less likely to be a green candle. But in case it's still nearly to 2 hours, so if in case this 4 hour candle is not breaking below here and closing as a long wick doji, even a narrow doji, the next one might bounce back to the upside. So here's a move. It's still not a very impressive bullish rejection yet, though we see some upside coming here. Okay, that's pattern that we discussed on this market. So let's understand why the market, when it returns or the drop the other way around could be, that means this is in an uptrend and start to downtrend, or in a downtrend, just if you invert that scale, then you're gonna see like that, right? So imbalance and then booms, bounce back up. So that's what you can see, that the market, if you look at why does this happen, two reasons. This is also another representation of how, if you look at the human emotion works, right? Trading is all about also driven by a lot of emotion. If you're looking at the trading, so you can see how it also leave a trajectory in the market. See, this move that you can see, it's driven by hope, right? That I'm going to entry here, the market is broken below, so we'll place the pending order here or enter. Market has moved to the profit target, profit taken, another move. So it's a optimistic market driven by hope. So it's going in a little slower move. Now once the market almost set out for a reversal, that market now taken over by fear of losing what you already have gained, and that's it is driven by the fear. That means any closing of the trades, or and coming along with some volume, giving that market to drop without even a pullback, straight drop back below the order block. So that's why the market is like that, because when traders, let's say the buying, even they're not buying here, it's closing, so there has to be compensation on the other side. That means if someone is closing their position, that means the buyer's close position means that they are selling, and that's why the market remain very strongly downside. Okay, so Kevin asks, so why sometimes gold and dollar trade in the same direction? That's another important question, because if you see that DXY is bullish, probably think of buying or selling gold just to see that they are moving in the same direction. What about today's market here on gold and DXY? We look at in that area. And then we can look at from that point of view. So DXY here, this is a lower time frame. There's a drop here on DXY, and potentially breaking that low here. So with the downtrend on DXY now from this high, we look at the 4-hour perspective with a double top, triple top. DXY might be coming well below here in that support level, and because downside on DXY, it's gonna reflecting back above here on gold. Now here in this area, the market is trying to create that upside bias. So DXY and gold sometimes moves in a same direction is because of, especially when there is a very difficult crisis around some unresolved issues like sudden war or any kind of economic downturn. So if you see the depression, that's why you see that gold and DXY move almost in the same direction. It's because of all the investment coming on gold and dollar altogether. You can see it happens especially in terms of an economic downturn or global crisis. So you can keep that in mind for your trading whenever you see that. So why sometimes, okay, I hope that makes sense, clear understanding. Sir, please, wouldn't that fall be as a result of news? Okay, so that fall that we discuss as a result of news, only news wouldn't be changing your trend more often. News more often will give you better direction in terms of your trend. So you'll see that when there is a high impact news, what it does, if you see that a strongly uptrend, the news might give you a break of structure for buying again to continue the trend. And almost you'll see that news will not change the trend. News more often will give you more flow for the trend. So what do I mean by this? See that there is a sideways market here, okay? And sudden news could bring that market here with a long wick without any pullback. Grab all the liquidity candle close here. So it's ready for another trend back again. So So it has given you new momentum. That means with the news, all the liquidity triggers, now it's in a trend. That's what you can see with the news. That waterfall is if the market changes trend and it coincides with the news, yes, it might reinforce that movement. Okay, so that being said, we are looking at here. No problem at all, thank you. This sort of looks like a fake out and drop to daily support below. Now, yeah, so this is in the current price section that you can see there was a drop here and the market rejected back above. We are nearing to the 4-hour candle close. Yep. It's still 1.5 hour now, and with a one single bounce back above here. Okay, it has the current 4-hour. If we delete the levels again to look at the fresh movement in the market, how this candle is closing is important. How the market structure is creating is important here. Okay, so that's where we are looking at this market for the price to continue to rise back above here in that area, and with a bullish impulse that you can see, it's maintaining that uptrend. We are looking at the price action here to create a new higher high. So this red candle that you can see, it has broken that support and then to bounce off to continue to rise again back above. Look at an entry for looking to see if we can enter from a breakout structure, as it managed to break above this 4-hour. The session high is broken, and Okay, so it's coming back below to that support potentially, and now if it breaks down below here, coming straight drop down here, that's gonna be really good entry that we can look at this market. And also the 1 hour support. Looking at the multiple time frame, we see that there is a possibility for another at least short-term bounce back above to feel that around 80 to 90 pip to 100 pip move back above here. So if the market shows up to break above only, it could be the other way, directional move, and it still can come well below to this daily key level. It's getting that rejection back above here in that area. So with a lower time frame, got that break above, and so intraday time frame we are still quite a bit of 4 hour candle close to close, and now this is setting up that possibility for new higher high. So from the 1 hour, the market trend showing to be bullish. So we got a trend, potential trend continuation. It's the 5 minutes candlestick, which is here big bull candle. Now the current support. So you might be able to find potential entry that we are looking at in that area. This support at 4139, 4140 is an essential support that you can see here. And looking at a clean breakup structure, you see the market managed to bounce back here above. So we are looking at possible bullish entry. All right, so here is consolidation. The current level that we are looking at, 34139, support level for that entry back above here in that market. And now we are almost nearing to another 1 hour candle close. So I'm looking at that entry criteria. So yeah, for us to be able to enter here in this lower time frame, expecting the market to drop back down, we had our previous trade open in the same way. So in this drop down back below, the price has dropped to the support. Now the current key level that you can see is 4139, and price tested also the 10 and 20 ms. So 15 minutes and 30 minutes market structure showing that it has picked up the trend again potentially, and still at those levels again to see how the market. Now you can see that this market structure now at the moment is again bullish. So we finally passed that sideways zone here. You can see this is what we passed in this session here. So the market has managed to break above here. Now for us to get into the trade, looking at any of these lower areas to enter for this possible move back, and we're getting some 1 minute rejection. The price is starting to drop. So if this market coming back here straight with this 1 minute to this level with this single move here, we'll be looking at bullish entry. Another back-to-back 2 1 minute candle showing further bearish move. So this is the 4-hour support. The market has crossed this previous session's high here from the 1 hour, that showing that bullish candlestick formation, and okay, ready for a possible entry. First let it drop further back below, and if we enter here we will be market drop here, we will be keeping around to 50 pip stop loss, 50 to 55 pip. Potential new higher high. So this 5 minutes candle closing, which is big bear candle, and that is what we are looking at now, the market to potentially drop down back below. And it's getting some rejection earlier. see further downside for bullish entry. And so looking at the 30 minutes, if you look at, this is a doji on the 30 minutes, pretty long weak candlestick pattern, and want to see that current 30 minutes support is broken here for potential entry. And that's a lower time frame support. So breaking below this session's low is where the better entry. Not going to consider yet for big bull until we see a retest of this support. Is getting bounced earlier than we expected. If that's returning again back above 1 hour closing potential as a bull, so 30 minutes as well. So now if you look at the this market structure, you can see it's a series of higher low. Okay, and it is 30 minutes price action that's showing up to be potentially bullish here, and with this drop bounce back above in this area here, expecting to trend again back above. this support has not been tested yet, so to remain bullish, we are looking at this support here, guys. We are almost nearing to the end of this live session, and we more often open trades. So today's market finally started to got volume, and that might continue throughout the NY session. You can see here now it's trying to pull back again. So current level that I'm key level looking at for entry at 4139 level. Are you ready? So make sure, be patient here. If this market dropping back below here, we will be using either pending order or entry by market, and I will take my first TP at 4148 level. If you guys having the same setup to look at next, this is the level looking at 4139, and 4148 is where looking to take the profit. That being said, we are almost nearing to the end of the session, and it's just started big trading journey here with many members to take the trading to the next level for everyone who are watching and also who are in the academy. So if you are a trader, this is a, see that we had 2.5 hours and we couldn't find the right entry in that area. No, we didn't open the trade. That is trading. Someday you might not, but still it's not over, it's just a session. But in your trading, there might be someday you may not be able to open position if you're trading by yourself. So it's okay. That's how you can keep learning and growing as a trader, as we learn to be patient. And that being said, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this session. You learned something here. If you enjoyed and you learned, make sure you stay connected. And also I'll see you there again in London and NY session live together twice. Until that, stay well, stay happy.